Good evening, everyone. I kind of apologize for my condition. I was told as an Olympian, our bodies were ageless, and I got to look somewhere in the fine print, talk to somebody about that, because I'm missing out on it. But to begin, I wanted to thank Will and the Virginia Sports Hall of Fame. Will has worked with me constantly over the past 2 years. Really I've been giving him headaches and kind of driving him crazy, and he's solved kind of every problem or every challenge I've thrown at him. So I really appreciate it. I wanted to thank him, as well as my wife, Christina. I know everybody gets up here, they start talking about their wives. And, you know, my wife, obviously, they say behind a strong man, there's a stronger woman. I can sum it up this way. In 2000, the track and field season runs from June through August. But in 2000, the Olympic Games were in Sydney, so because it's in the lower hemisphere, that competition went on the 28th of September. I was in Europe for 6 months while my wife was in her last 2 trimesters. I came home on the 3rd of September for one night before turning around, catching a flight the next day back out to Sydney. She watched from television, watched me compete, and she knew everything that went on. She knew when I stood on the stand for that silver medal and was frustrated and hurting, she knew how I felt. She was one of the only ones that could look to my face and knew it right off the bat. So definitely, obviously, I love you and thank you for being there and everything. I have 2 of my beautiful children here out of 5. My oldest daughter, Sandra, my son, who's knocked out now, Christian. My in-laws, Jerry and Joanna Bailey. My mother and my father, obviously here, my sister, and everybody in the back. There's always been so much support. I have to also recognize Miss Bernard. Mr. Clevenger, I believe you're here. Please go ahead and stand. Mr. Clevenger, Miss Bernard, did you guys make it back? There we go. Yeah, please give them a hand. When people say it takes a village to raise someone, it takes a village. The group that I ran into at Great Bridge High School helped to turn my career around. It began, when I say it takes a village, it began with my family. My family supported me from the jump. And back to one of my first instances in track and field, I went out and started pole vaulting. I'm 2 weeks into the pole vault. And I come home excited one day and tell Dad, you know what, Pop, I'm going to the Olympics. I'm ready, I got this, I know, I'm going to the Olympics. He looked at me with a smile on his face and he said, son, what makes you think you're so special? There's another 100 kids at Lake Taylor High School that want to go to the Olympics. There's 12 schools in the district with another 100 kids in each one that want to go. There's 40 schools across the region. There's over 100 schools in the state. Before you get out of state, you've got thousands of people that want to go to the Olympic Games. So what makes you so special? I looked at him, and I couldn't say anything. I didn't have an answer. So I put my bag down. I turned around, went out the door, and just started running. I didn't know how to train. I didn't know what to do, but I knew running would get me there, get me better. And so I picked that up and went from there. The next influence, that next strong influence in my life, I will never have the opportunity to think. And that's probably been one of the most challenging things for me, because he is the individual that put a pole in my hand for the first time. He's 100% responsible for everything I've accomplished in the pole vault. And I was never able to get back and share with him and thank him for everything that he did. He passed away in 2001, and he's just been a very strong part of everything I've done, and I wouldn't be right up here saying anything without thanking him. I apologize, I know I'm kind of making this seem like the Oscars. We're just kind of going on. I'm thanking everybody. But You know, when the actors do get up and they start thinking they're co-actors and the stage hands and the production units and all that, it is actually necessary. Those people are the ones that stand behind the actors, and the actors might be on the stage and in the spotlight, but it's those people that are behind the actors that really bring everything together. It's that family that brings everything together. When I moved out to Great Bridge from Lake Taylor High School, a lot of people don't know this, and I kept it quiet for a while. I think let it be known to the world, because some of the people that helped me accomplish it and overcome it are right here in this room. It's the reason why Virginia is the great state that it is. When I went from Lake Taylor High School to Great Bridge High School, I was a knucklehead. I had the talent, I had the academic smarts, I wasn't applying it. When I arrived at Great Bridge, my core GPA was a 1.7. I had 2 years to get up to a 2.0 to be able to go to college. And it was the Clevengers, it was the Bernards, it was the Wheatons that got together and got on me, this knuckleheaded kid, and got me straightened out and finished out the school year, finished out my first 2 years, or my last 2 years, with straight A's, to the point to where I just barely got into college. I ended up with a 2.07 GPA that just barely got me in. And once I got in, I was all academic every season from there on. I would never let that go. So thank you very much here. Yeah, so, back, there's, coaches are really the unsung heroes. They were with me, they were with the athletes before school, after school, weekends, providing support, training, taking out their time, spending countless hours. And then there's, for me, there's always that individual that was strong, the pillar in the background, guiding you through the gym, on the track, making sure you weren't making any knucklehead moves. It kind of pushed to help you understand that athletics and academics go hand in hand. I came across a video a couple years ago that Bruce Rader had put together, an interview from high school, and Mr. Banks was in the interview. And what stood out to me so much listening to that interview 30 years later is the humbleness he had, even then, in referring to what he was responsible for. When he spoke in that interview, he responded, he made a statement that Lawrence knows the pole vault. Lawrence knows more about the pole vault than I'll ever know. And he was wrong with that, because he knows more about coaching the pole vault than I'll ever know. Because coaching is more than just technique. It's more than what you know. It's the way you influence someone's life. It's the way you carry things on and change your lives. And as a coach, a lot of times you don't have the chance to see or recognize the number of lives that you have touched. So I'm happy now to be able to ask you to stand up. Coach Pat Banks, my coach. They say great athletes make great coaches. But I disagree. I think great coaches make great athletes. And in closing, I am really, really honored to be here, to be included in the likes of the inductees into the Hall of Fame here. Cy Young, Arthur Ashe, these are legendary names to be included among. And I'm so humbled by it. So thank you for this opportunity.